Ms. Hanabusa.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary General, I'm following up on what the chair actually brought up, and that's this balance, the rebalance to Asia Pacific, and how we're also going to maintain your commitment to partner in and around the Middle East. Now, having said that, on page 10 of your testimony, you also are talking about U.S. Army Pacific elevating to a 4-star general headquarters in 2013. And I just would like to say thank you, because as you probably are very well aware, Senator Inouye from Hawaii always wanted a 4-star general presence, and it was because irrespective of the air and sea comment earlier, General, it is because our allies in the Pacific are Army, and the having the same level of command was something of respect for the Senator. And having thanked you for that, my question though is, what do you expect by having a 4-star general in the Pacific? How does that change your posture, or what are we in Hawaii to expect from having a 4-star general there?
Well, I'll start, and then the chief can fill in the operational realities a little bit better. First of all, we deeply mourn and miss the good senator. He was a great American, obviously, going back to his sacrifices in World War II, and was also a great supporter of all the men and women in uniform, and you know, he gave us so much. So if this elevation honors him, that's cherry on the cake. So we miss him, as I said. As you noted, Congresswoman, the main objective is to provide our relationships with our 21 of the 27 heads of military structure in the Pacific nations that are Army, the CHODs, the chairman, and the highest military officials, an equal to talk to in the Army relationships. Everybody talks about land-sea battle, and there's a lot of air-sea battle, and there's a lot of air and a lot of sea, but there's a lot of land as well. And one of the objectives of our strategy is not to have to go to war, not to have to encounter conflict, and we think the Army particularly plays an important role in those kinds of activities. We have 24 major engagements throughout the Pacific region. We, unlike some of the other services, have not cut back on any of those engagements, and we think, given the prevalence of Army forces throughout the Pacific, we're going to have a very, as I said in my opening comments, the status is a linchpin in that Pacific, and I can tell you the PACOM commander, Admiral Locklear, is very excited about having Army units return from theater and having them available through our regional line forces and through our state partnership program. For example, Alaska and Mongolia, the Alaska National Guard. So we think, although it may not change and add a lot of buildings and a lot of staff, at least in the beginning, it's an important step symbolically to deal with other armies on an equal basis. Chief?
Thank you.
Yeah, I would just say we've done some reorganization as well. So 8th Army, which has been in Korea, now comes under the U.S. Army Pacific Commander, our force in Japan. It's a broad responsibility. So we thought it was very important to have a 4-star general there. And I just would reemphasize what the Secretary said, the importance of having a 4-star general that can regularly meet and build relationships with our key allies and partners throughout the Asia Pacific is incredibly important. So we're very happy about this, and on 2 July, General Brooks will take over, and we're looking forward to that day.
Yes, thank you very much again, and you may have to respond in writing to the next question. You know, also as part of your written testimony on page 8, you talk about the future, and you talk about how the mission is going to be able to respond quickly. We have been discussing really the efficiencies because of the cut in the budget. So now my question is, how are you going to prepare for really 2 major theaters, Asia Pacific as well as the Middle East? And do you believe that the training and or the ability to be flexible, which is paramount in all of your statements, are you going to be able to do that in 2 very distinct and, in my opinion, separate theaters? And I'm going to be out of time, and so if we could, can we take that for the record? Thank you very much, and thank you again for the 4-star position. Thank you.